I used to. You're not dismissive, which I love.
Thank you.
Because you're confident.
I think dismissiveness is so.
It's insecurity.
Yeah, and it's just gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I will dismiss certain people, but it's not a dismiss as much as it is.
You won't let them
boundary.
In. Yeah,
you
don't
even have enough penetration to be dismissed. And I had to practice that last night.
Dismissing penetration.
Will not be at Coachella this year.
Where did that jump? That jump went fucking boop boop. Oh, I get it. That was a bad name. See how quick you are? Damn.
Dismissing penetration.
Damn.
It's a feminist
Damn, she's quick.
A folk feminist.
Can I tell you?
Called Dismissing Penetration.
She's one of. I'm gonna give you your flowers right now. I told you this in the parking lot.
I'm dying.
You're one of like 5 people in this town that I did not want to follow.
Really?
Yeah.
Who are the other 4? Because I want to know if it's a good compliment. If you say,
I'm not. Do I have to say? Oh,
name 2.
Burr.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Orny.
Yeah, Orny's a tough follow.
You know what I mean?
He kills a room.
In a great way.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest.
Like these are compliments. Like people that are like, fuck, I gotta follow them. You know what I mean? And one night I was at the Improv, and it was just a show of like 20 people. Or no, there was like 50 people. It was pretty half full, but there was maybe 20, not 20 comics. That was wrong. Like 10 comics, whatever. And it was like 15 up. And you went up like 5 in, and you were like how you are now, but you were mad about something, and were just poof, 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 poof. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this fucking girl's murdering, and I gotta fucking follow this. And I'm like, I hate doing shows sometimes in LA because I have a life. Anyway, long story boring is that you're like have to be on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to deliver, and it's like a Wednesday, and they're not there and you're just killing. And I was like, fuck. So I like had to do the thing where I had to like take what you did, play off your energy for a second, bring it down, change their energy, and then go back up. And I had it,
that part.
I had
people
a pretty
don't
good
understand. That's.
Yes, I had to adjust it because like she was left with like, almost a standing ovation. I don't know if you remember this, and it was so funny. And I was like, that's how like right there. Like you just said, are not at Coachella this year. I actually thought you were making a Coachella reference about yourself. That's how quick you are.
I've never been, but I would love to go, and I'm going to
You
start
haven't
a
been?
band.
What did I say? What did I say?
Dismissive
penetration.
It's a feminist folk band for sure, and they're sisters. They're ex-Mormons.
Yes,
for sure.
That was like Theo Vaughn quickness.
But
I don't want to follow Theo either. That's a compliment. Okay.
What were we talking about? Oh, because I had to I had to practice that where I don't even let someone in to have to dismiss them.
So yeah, you put a boundary.
You put a boundary up, and it's.
How do you know that they're going to be annoying?
Because sycophants are very obvious.
Sycophants, so they're sycophants, yeah.
They're very obvious.
Or just toxicity.
Yes, and there's a lot of that in this entertainment industry. There's a lot of sycophants and phony balonies, and they mill about. They're like gnats. They're like human gnats, and you just see them out of your peripheral, and you're like, the most important thing is to not make eye contact.
Yeah. See, here's the problem is that you want to be cool, but you know the term palming?
No.
It was just taught to me.
Teach me, sensei. So
when you go to like a club and there's a bunch of like the problem with our business is it's good and it's bad in the sense, especially comedy. I stopped it. And then there it is.
Whoa.
Yes.
All this time.
So stay there. Yes.
Okay, guys, we're going to start recording in 3, 2.
I don't care if it's there. We're going to take it. So with comedies, there's no barrier to entry. So that's why I'm here, because there was no barrier to entry. Unfortunately, there's no barrier to entry. And it's like you will, out of all the people I started with, she'll know one, Holtzman, who is the king of my circuit.
Just love him.
Yeah, he's a genius. And so there's a lot of other people that fell off. Some of them, different reasons, didn't want to do it, whatever. But there's also people that just come in the open mics when you start and they're a little bit delusional. Okay. And it's
Most are.
Yeah, most are. And there's a fine line between, there's brilliantly funny people and there's brilliantly funny delusional people. And then there's just delusional people. And so there's no barrier to entry. So if you go to a club and there's like the people that are going to go up or possibly fall in and get some spots, that's one thing. But then there's a lot of people hanging around, and it's called palming. I was taught this, where you have your palm out and you're like, yo, man, can I get a spot? Yo, who's your opener? Like, and it's a palm. And I always, I don't really talk or give advice or anything. I'm always cool with everybody. But I will say, if you're a younger up and coming comic, people always say, you got to go hang. You got to go hang. No. This is what I tell people. Go up and kill it on the beginning, kill it on open mics, sign up everywhere, get used to holding a microphone, get a good 5-7 minutes, start putting your clips out there, all that stuff. And then when you come to the club, pop in because you might get a set. Unless you're meeting a friend or you want to see somebody you love or you want to do a tiny bit of networking. But I never did that. I always just said, I'm going to have the tightest 5 or 6. In my time, it was the 5 because then you get on TV. And that's like you get your first TV spot. And then you have tape. And then you can take that. And then you get another 5. That's how it was. It was building blocks of 5. So I never, like hanging out the Improv in the corner, eating a Roseanne bar salad, which is a salad there. And like hoping to run into like George Lopez and be like, George, you think I could like be your merch guy? Never my thing. And and I'm not saying it doesn't work for people, but that's what palming is. And I think people just hanging around, just do you, just do it.
Yeah, just do you.
Just do it. Do a fucking Tony Roma's in Pacoima. Like, that's what I did.
And find somebody like a Ben Glebe.
Yeah.
A friend that is in the industry who you can bounce ideas off of, and also find a mentor.
Yes. Yes.
And just, keep up the grind. Like, it's not about hanging out with your palm out. I also feel like there's a lot of people in society that are doing that.
There's palming.
COVID did that. All those loans did that. Now everyone's got their palms out.
I was last night, I'm not to S my own D, but I owed almost 300 people at Ontario on a Wednesday.
It's fucking great.
Well, partially me, but I think Ontario's a hot club. And,
don't negate it.
And I was like, wow. And my first joke was, so either I'm getting more popular or, unemployment's up.
Yeah.
And people are like, both. Because like, I felt like, and people didn't want to work. I did extra long set. No one left. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that just don't want to work.
Yeah.
And whether it was the EBT or they just spend their money or whatever, like the regular society is getting disrupted.
It really is. I was talking to Diaz this morning, and he was like, he said the credit card debt's higher than ever. Everyone's got more people out in the clubs now. Got like 40, 50 extra heads in the comedy clubs.
He's correct.
He's correct.
He is correct.
He's my source to the rest of the world. He's so tapped in. That's my mentor.
Yes.
Yeah, he's right. And everyone, people are going broke and they're out spending money.
He's correct. Yeah, it's true.
It's wild.
It is.
That's great. You still, 300 people on a Wednesday.
I mean,
and because of that,
but it's
I'm
just
glad
a boom.
you brought that up. I have an award for you for last night.
Thank you.
The ultimate, it's actually Dismissive Penetration Award.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are they going to be at Bonnaroo? Because I know they're not at Coachella.
For sure. Yeah, brah. For sure.
Yeah, brah.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, let me ask you this. As a
say female comic, I'm going to jump out of this window.
I know. Get ready.
Okay. As
a woman, am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
As an attractive woman, am I allowed to say that?
100%. Please do. Thank you.
As a drip-dropping smoke show.
God bless.
Because I always tell people like comedy, like when I started, there was one cute ingenue in comedy. And that was me.
Sarah? Oh.
That was me. You like that? But I like, when I started, Sarah was like 5 years in and she was like really beautiful. Didn't play on her looks at all, but always beautiful.
Right.
but like sexy, but like, you know, just kind of like 90s grunge. But yet also before her was Janine,
Oh yeah.
also beautiful. There's a few more. I have to think about them.
You said ingenue. What's that?
Ingenue just that means like a young, nubile
Oh, it sounds like a type of pear.
female. It could be. But like it was a freak show of other that. Like there wasn't as many good looking people, you know, but like it was, you know, it was the fat guy. It was the hood black dude. It was the sweater lesbian. It was the Mexican from the valley. It was, you know, it was archetypes.
It was.
And then I don't know, when I started doing comedy a lot in town again, when I feel like social media and pods started making everybody like, hey, do this, do that, and shows started becoming not just like one type of show. It's like the democracy of comedy was born, I would say 7 years ago, where I wouldn't do shows with different people and they wouldn't do them with me. And then we were all just like, hey, we're all in this together type of thing. It became social. You know, whatever it is, whether it's social media, whatever. There's a lot of, you know, better looking people, men and women, in the game. And it used to be like, well, that's going to distract you. You know what I mean? There wasn't, you know, you and Whitney are your own thing. You know, Liza, your own thing. You know, now there's a whole crop of people that you inspired. Now, the difference is that you three are comedians that happen to be attractive. Am I allowed to say this?
Yes, absolutely.
Where I do feel there are some as a woman in comedy with the looks, because it used to be like, well, it's distracting. Did you go through that period in terms of like, because I think you don't play into that at all, but you could.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's always been a conversation. And I never.
Because it was like, girls are like hating on you and guys want to F.
Right. And I think what it comes down to is your material.
Well,
and who you are.
100%. Once you open your mouth, you've won.
Right.
What I'm saying is, in the game, when you came up, did you think that was going to be a thing?
You know, I never really put too much onus on it.
Good.
And I never thought it was a crutch, and I never thought it was an advantage.
Okay.
The only place where
it could be a disadvantage.
For sure.
Yes.
The only place I saw it as an advantage when I started was that there was very few women on the bill. So I thought, oh, okay, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because the competition isn't so high. But then I realized, oh, there is no competition. That whole ideology that there's competition outside of yourself is a farce that we tell ourselves.
That's so deep that a lot of people aren't going to get that.
Well, it's
blue ocean. You know what blue ocean strategy is?
No, but that sounds interesting. Sounds like
I don't want to cut your thought off.
Seminar.
But exactly what you just said is great. But blue ocean strategy is basically the iPhone.
What does that mean?
Well, before the iPhone, did you ever see a phone like that?
No.
Exactly, because it renders the competition useless because it's a completely different entity.
Interesting. And we have to take that ideology for our
Yeah, so the iPhone, it was so different, but it changed culture and everyone adapted. Remember we used to hit the buttons?
Yeah, I miss the buttons.
Yeah, but no one thinks about that. You're the only person with the buttons.
I like pushing stuff.
So it was considered a blue ocean product that renders the competition useless. And it followed its own path. And so that's what you're saying. And there is no competition because it renders it useless. In golf, You're not going against golfers. I always tell people you're going against the hole.
Right. It's just you in the hole, you in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Like, and that's not to say it hasn't come up and become an issue. I definitely know I've been treated differently because I'm a woman. I know that I have had people say and do things that are severely inappropriate. But I don't think as much as other girls, because I don't think I put out that energy. And I'm not saying that it's a responsibility either way. I think it's both the predator and the prey have some accountability, and there should be responsibility taken as well. I'm saying in my own individual experience, I haven't experienced the enormity of it like other people, I think, because it is kind of a very common situation for women to experience, discrimination and sort of feeling gross by someone's energy. I know I've experienced that. I just don't think on a wider scale because I do have a different type of facade. I don't feel like I put out a lot of permeable moments where someone can get in on me like that.
But you don't have a wall up.
I don't.
But you have a confidence and a swagger that you hold your own.
I've got a screen. I've got Venetian blinds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a wall, but I'm looking and I'm like, I'm gonna shut these real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to see into all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you need to have a complete wall up. I do think you need to have a protective energy around you. But back to what you're saying about being a woman, I saw it as an advantage. And I still think it's an advantage. I just don't think it's something that needs to be the forefront of everything. And all of the discussion, like, to me, the funniest comedians are ones that you don't even realize what or who they are in the sense of having one particular angle.
Mm-hmm.
You just learn about what irritates them and what angers them and what moves them.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to stick with that. Like, what I talk about on stage is something that I really feel and something that I've experienced. Obviously, there is we do exaggerate. That is art, but it has to be connected to how I really feel and what's really happened to me in order for me to be able to portray it honestly.
Yeah.
So, but I do think that there are girls in life and in this industry who use it in the wrong way and think that they need to be something and think that they need to be something to be accepted and think they have to dress a certain way and all of that. I used to dress more like a guy because I thought that's what I should do. I was told that, you can't, don't dress too sexy on stage,
because it will distract. Yeah, that's a thing that they say.
But I've gotten comfortable with dressing the way I feel best. And sometimes I'm in a tight shirt. Sometimes I'm in tight pants. And it's not a thing because I just feel I'm not trying to attract anything. I just feel good in it.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel confident in it. And I think if it's a distraction, it's because it's not authentic to you. You're putting it on for a reason. You're not wearing it because it makes you feel good. You're wearing it because you want the attention of somebody else to make you feel good.
Wait, I have a joke that I don't want to know if you're going to tell me what the truth is.
Okay.
But I want to go back to what you're saying. Well, yoga pants.
Yeah.
I have this joke about yoga pants, and the woman said, we don't wear them to have men look at us. We wear them because they're comfortable.
I will say I do agree with that because when I work out, I wear tight pants. I don't like the feeling of when I'm working out or if I'm going to the farmer's market.
But she said we don't wear it because our butt looks good. It's just because they're comfortable. That's what she said.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I work hard on my butt and I want.
So what is it?
I think it can be a blend of both.
Because she said it wasn't.
That's just not true. I think that the truth everywhere lies in the middle.
In the middle.
Always in the middle.
So it's the yoga pants. But you were just saying you wear stuff because you're comfortable. But this girl said she only wore yoga pants because they're comfortable, not because it makes my butt look good. And
That's just a lie.
Was a lie. Okay, good.
Yeah, part of feeling good is looking good, and if you take pride in your appearance, there's nothing wrong with just be honest about it. But for me, working out, I don't like to have sweat dripping down the back of my leg and then that catching on a loose cotton pant. I can't stand it.
Of course, working out is different.
I can't stand it. I'm like, I'm just focusing on sweat drips.
Yeah, no.
Which will not be they won't be at Coachella either.
Ooh, they might be in the Gobi tent.
I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like a lot of fun.
It's next to the Sahara tent. I can't believe you're never going to Coachella.
Am I missing? Okay.
I'm going to go back to what you're saying, but I'm going to do a disc. I'm going to go off for a second. I'm going to go back to it, but don't let me forget it. Here's the thing with Coachella. It's a lot of powder blue suits.
Oh, fungal.
Yeah. It's a lot of beads.
Oh, no.
Actually,
authentic beads or
no
poser beads?
The thing a lot of poser beads, but there's a lot of it used to I started going 10, 12 years ago. And that thing after it's supposed to be incredible, Stagecoach. That's supposed to be authentic, real country, people, and they get crazy and stuff. But it was fun. I've done a lot of stuff there. I've done like 5 or 6 times, but at some, I don't know, maybe it's because I hit that 50, but I just feel, and I haven't drank in a while, and I'm not
At all?
at all
Wow.
for a long time. For
What's a long time?
over 4 years.
Not a drip drop.
Not a drop.
That's great.
And it wasn't trying to be sober. It was just to look better because I was puffy, and I did an episode of Lucifer, and I was like, damn, I'm like, the character's okay, but I look so fucking puffy. And like, it was just like, and I shot a special, and I was like, I'm going to not drink for 3 months to look better. And I did. And then when I was done to celebrate, I didn't even drink. I was too tired. And I was like, then it just added another month. And then now I'm like in this crazy ass place with it. So I actually believe that, not to digress, but
it's not digressing.
where vibrations, like the vibration thing, I hate to say that in a hippie way, but how can I say this? Vibrations are real. So when people are like, I don't like your vibe, it's because they're putting something out that's making you feel a certain way. Like that's just something that's in you, like an essence of feeling a vibe, whatever. Okay,
Yep.
We all know what vibes are. That I think booze actually lowers it. I believe, here's my deepest thought. You can call me whatever you want. I believe that booze was put here to keep us numb and dumb. And I believe like things like mushrooms, even though I haven't taken them in a long time, like 25 years, but
wow.
I do believe that they're probably elevating you to that other place. But you can do them. You don't have to do them. But I believe just my not having any altering consciousness. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, because I think mushrooms could tap you into like seeing these other things that could be there that our senses can't tap into. But in a normal setting, booze dumbs us down, makes us more Cro-Magnon, and your ideas, your creativeness, your spirit of hope is destroyed. Like, you don't see too many like fun. I know you can say you're a happy drunk, but I can probably, if I hang with you the whole time, there's going to be a moment where I can see your sadness or your cry. It is a depressant, and I just feel it like makes you just like, and it lowers your, like, if you believe in the pineal gland, which is a real gland, and you believe that if you really like meditate, I know this sounds hippie, but there's a science to it. You can actually see the science where you can connect, and like your intuition. I believe it kills your intuition, meaning the ability to actually like kind of low key predict things or like know that something's going to happen, which people think is a little crazy. I believe we can actually do. And
I agree.
And I believe booze kills it.
Yeah,
and I believe it was killing us for a reason, because they know that we would be powerful, then we won't work, and we will just be like I am, which is a non-compromising person. And so if you have a planet full of people that are like thinking for themselves, you're not going to get your fucking restaurant filled with waiters. They're going to fucking say, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And that's a bigger thought, but it's a simple idea. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I do. I think that's to keep us all unified and dumb.
And inert.